Dapat pala, bumili tayo ng mas mahabang wire. Wireless.
Hello po, good morning. Jason po ng SM9 News. First question po, ma'am, sir, sa revelasyon po na ginawa ni dating Congressman Zaldico, ano po ang inaasahan natin in the next days po?
Grabe, ikaw muna. Unahin natin yung taga-Mindanao.
Sa tingin po ba ninyo, dahil po dito sa revelasyon ni Zaldico, mas naging malinaw ba? May mapapanagot na kaya? May makukulong na ba bago po matapos ang 2025?
Well, I think just like you, I'd have a lot of questions in mind as well, no? Because number one, kumbaga yung confession ni Zaldico is not an ordinary confession. It directed straight to Malacanang,
Yes, sir.
particularly the president. And si Malutikia summarized kung ano yung mga points ni Zaldico, and she said it was about corruption, budget manipulation, and abuse of power. And I'd like to add to that kasi parang may high-level na collusion, right, na nangyari. And I think that demands, whether he's telling the truth or not, that actually demands investigation in a sense. But the problem is that usually in an ordinary situation that doesn't involve the president, kung cabinet secretary lang or director ng isang bureau or kaya local government official, usually for the investigation to be successful, kailangan masuspended muna yung iniimbestiginahang opisyal, tama ba? But in this case, it's a different case because we have a president na walang inherently yung constitution natin sinasabi na hindi pwedeng suspende or whatever, and probably there are means, but
Even the congressmen and the senators cannot be suspended.
yeah, basically that's it. So in other words, until the president is there, it will still compromise the investigation. Nakita ko lang, the reason why I thought about this, kasi nga sinabi ng ICI na titingnan at pag-aaralan muna nila. Kaya lang, right, yun ang sinabi nila. Pero ang problema nga, pag-aaralan mo to, but the president, understand that the president actually formed ICI. The mandate of ICI is also from the office of the president, and the funding of ICI is also from the president. From that point of view, kung titingnan mo yung motibo, which is now being questioned because the president is being implicated dun mismo sa corruption, then perhaps right now we can also take a look at ano yung naging motive. Was the motive really to get into the investigation and find out things, or was it pre-planned? Because perhaps nakita nila na posibleng may Zaldico na magsasabi. And now and the most probable way na pwede mong gawin is to pass it on to an independent commission that can investigate. But is it really independent right now? If we try to look at, piece together and try to see ano bang naging motibo on putting this up, because it's probably just to buy time, or probably just to control the story, or even, there are a lot of things na pwedeng gawin, or mag-absorb lang ng anger ng mga tao na may ICI na, hintayin nyo na lang muna, and all. So,
Sir,
all of these,
follow up on that
Yeah.
question po. Dapat bang patunayan ngayon ng ICI na independent po talaga sila and start investigating kung ano yung sinabi ni Zaldico, regardless kung sino man yung iimbestigahan na personalidad?
well, it's up to them kung patutunayan nila. But I think the public will not believe them anymore. Because again, their mandate, their budget, and the one who formed it, and perhaps even the motive around it, very questionable na, especially now that the president is being implicated. Diba? So yun yung pinaka-problema at pinaka-dilemma. So if Zaldico is really telling the truth right now, I believe this is not just a corruption story. It is also an issue of, or crisis of, leadership and accountability. And very limited yung accountability for the president, right? In a case like this. And that is why it's so important. Ang pinaka-important rito, there are pwedeng explore, like, investigation via the impeachment and all, and our lawyers can tell us more about that. But one thing na pwedeng magawa natin as mamamayan is really to create massive public pressure to tell our, the institution, to tell everyone, Supreme Court and others, na our eyes are on this, and we are not compromising. We will demand accountability. And the risk is, if the public, hindi nila makikita yung totoong accountability, in terms of really carrying out transparent investigation sa presidente, because again, Saldico's allegations actually merit an investigation, then what we fear is that the people will start to take it into their hands, right? And sana wag nang mangyari yon. But apparently, very, very important na mag-create yung public ng pressure rito. And that is why I think it's also very important for the public to participate, particularly starting tomorrow, 16, 17, and 18. Get out of your houses if you're concerned about, having a transparent investigation on this issue, concerned about the future of the Republic, then it is also, this is not just partisan. It is already our civic responsibility to be out there demanding for accountability.
Jimmy, you want to?
Sir?
Yeah, close.
The question is kung ano yung implications palagay niya, no? Siguro to simplify, we can have two categories ng implications, legal tsaka practical. So on the legal side, ang implications niyan, syempre matagal pa yan. Kasi at best, it is a lead. No? It's a lead to investigate further. And totoo naman na kailangan pang i-verify yung video kung AI o hindi. I mean, of course, we know, we believe it's not, di ba? Pero para yan maging admissible eventually, kailangan to cover all bases. So that's on the legal side, no? Pero yung practical po na implication ng mga sinabi po ni former Congressman Saldico, according to the doctrine of human experience, no, sa ating mga karaniwang tao, alam naman natin na sila po ay ang mga nasa kapangyarihan noon. Meron po talagang malalim na panloob na impormasyon si Saldi bilang chair ng APRO. So, ang mga sinabi niya ay pwede natin kahit papanong sandalan. At ang hindi lang natin sasandalan dyan siguro ay ang kanyang mga statements na self-serving. Yung mga paglilinis siguro sa kanyang sariling involvement. No? Pero pagdating po sa involvement ng iba, kailangan natin sigurong at least bigyan ng konting atensyon. Hindi po pwede yung ginawa, with all due respect to Senator Lacson, hindi po natin pwedeng bastang walisin. No? Kasi ang parang sinabi na lang nila Senator Lacson, I'm paraphrasing, na parang, in short, parang di totoo yan. Parang ganun eh. As chair of the Blue Ribbon Committee, hindi po pwedeng magpakita ng ganung klaseng parang partiality. Now, with regard to your question sa ICI, napakalinaw naman po sa inyong lahat na yan ay isang creation of the executive branch. No? So, by the basic concept of conflict of interest, hindi pwedeng ang tinuro po ay pataas. Pangulo po, again, with all due respect, di umano daw eh. Ang tinuro, Pangulo. So, hindi pwedeng kinatawan ng Pangulo ang mag-imbestiga. Napaka-basic po, ano. So, ang proper forum is the Blue Ribbon. Para sa akin. Pero ang Blue Ribbon po, para magbigay ng padalos-dalos na pahayag na parang hindi kaagad yan importante, ay with all due respect to the good senator, I think it's wrong. No one's perfect, Senator. No? You might be wrong in this case.
Okay. Ma'am Kathy, would you like to add on?
Sa akin, no, di ba, sinasabi rin ni Undersecretary Claire Castro, na hearsay lang ang sinabi ni Saldico, former Congressman Saldico. Apparently, let's not forget na he is the appropriation chairman. So kung meron mang may alam sa paggawa ng budget, siya yun. So, alam niya at hindi niya magagawa ang mga bagay-bagay kung hindi siya binigyan ng go signal. Isa lang siyang nautusan. At tatandaan natin, ang huling pumipirma at nag-check ng ating budget ay ang ating presidente. So, hindi natin pwedeng sabihin hindi sila liable. Sabi nga niya, 4,000 pages. Am I correct? Binasa niya. At sa dami rin po ng kanyang secretaries, undersecretary, assistant, whatever, Kung hindi man niya inabasa ng 4,000, dapat dinictate sa kanya kung tama ba o mali ang kanyang budget. Wala akong lusot dito, hindi po pwede kahit sino. Kaya nga sabi ko, hindi ako pwedeng maging politician eh. Kasi pag naging politika ka, walang kaibigan, walang kamag-anak, dapat ang iyong loyalty is sa sambayan ng Pilipino at sa bayan mo. Yun po.
Sabi
Next question na po sa ating mga lawyers. Sir, aside sa Senate Blue Ribbon Committee, anong sa tingin po ninyo ang tamang agency para imbestigahan nga itong sinasabi ni dating Congressman Saldico para hindi tawag nito, para walang partiality sa...
Okay. Well, una bigyan kong liwanag yung unang tanong mo kanina. Kung magkakaroon na nga ba ng hindi Merry Christmas itong mga nasasangkot sa flood control controversy at may makukulong na. Alam nyo, kaming mga abogado, yung proseso kasi ng pagsampa ng criminal case, lalong-lalo na itong mga ganitong klaseng mga kaso, hindi naman caught in flagrante delicto na yan. Ibig sabihin nun, hindi mo kaagad may isasampa yung information sa korte. So, hindi may i-issuehan ng warrant of arrest. So, magkakaroon ka ng preliminary investigation. Okay? Pag nagsampa ng kaso na yung ombudsman o DOJ, padadalhan ng subpoena or summon yung mga possible na mga akusado or indictees. So, tatanggapin yan. Kung sino man itong mga ito, kung mga ordinaryong mga opisyal ng DPWH o mga kontrakto, pagkatanggap yan, normally binibigay 10 days from receipt. 10 days from receipt of the subpoena or summon, you file your counter affidavit to answer this indictment, itong mga complaints against you. So, sabihin ng abogado, magagaling na abogadong kukunin ng mga taong yan, dami nilang pera yan, sina Bryce Hernandez kung hindi sila papasok sa Witness Protection Program, sina Alcantara o kung sino man. They can always ask for extension to file their counter affidavit. So, ano na ngayon? November 15 na ngayon? Yeah. O, ipagpalagay na natin bukas o sa Lunes, ilabas nila ito. Marireceive nila after 1 week. So, they can ask for extension. Hindi pa pwedeng hindi nila pagbigyan. Part of due process po kasi ang procedural due process pinag-usapan dito. After sila mag-file ng kanilang counter affidavit, then i-determine ng investigative officer kung kailangan pa bang mayroon na namang reply affidavit. Sasagot din na naman po yung possible na yung respondent. Then after that, then magkakaroon na ngayon ng resolution yung ombudsman o kaya Department of Justice. And that would be to file the case before the Sandigan Bayan or in the appropriate regional trial court, depending upon the salary grade of the concerned official or employee. Pag salary grade 27 and above yan, Sandigan Bayan ang filing. Below that would be regional trial court. Unless there is a conspiracy, etc. Napakasalimuot na kaso ito eh. So, hindi ko sinasabing suntok sa buwan yung pangako na dito sa mga involved sa flood control projects na anomalya ay hindi na magkakaroon ng Merry Christmas. Siguro baka hindi Merry Christmas sa 2025 ang binabanggit, baka 2026. To be realistic about it. So, let us not be too confident na matutupad itong pinangakong ito. Now, the next question is, ano ba ang appropriate na investigative body? The Senate Blue Ribbon Committee cannot determine the existence of probable cause. Katulad ng sinabi ko sa inyo kanina. They may determine that there is a possibility of the commission of malfeasance, nonfeasance, etc. And then they can recommend to the appropriate investigative body for further investigations, DOJ or Ombudsman. Lahat ng records nilang natanggap sa Senado. Ngayon, si Saldico ba would be willing to come home and testify para maging under oath, para magkaroon ng probative value yung kanyang sasabihin? Doctrine of human experience, sabi niya.
Actually, ngayon lang,
hindi siya pupunta rito.
Nilabas po ni Saldico yung part 2 ng video niya.
Oh,
So, makakalabas lang.
Well, makakalabas. So, hindi yan uuwi dito kasi sinabi na nga niya kung hindi nila ako mapapatay. At yung abogado niya, si Attorney Roy Rondain, Roy, you're such a good lawyer. Magkasama tayo, marami tayong mapinagsamahan ng mga important discussions on legal matters. He is one of the best lawyers that I have known. Itong si Attorney Roy Rondain. And he knows what he is talking about. Sinabi na niya noon pa that he is out of the country because he fears for his life. At yung fear na yon, whether totoo or hindi mo matatawaran yung tao na sinasabi, natatakot ako may mangyayari sa akin. That would be the primary reason that he would not come home. So, sa ngayon, sa ngayon, kailan kaya uuwi si Saldico para harapin itong mga sinasabi sa kanya ngayon na mga akusasyon? No, I sad to say, it's not gonna happen in the immediate future, believe you me. Just as like the other personalities that were implicated in the very serious crimes before, no? Na-implicate sila sa isang mga kasong mga non-bailable offenses, mass murder or whatever. Nagtago rin sila. Hindi sila lumabas. Hanggat hindi lumamig na yung panahon at napalitan na yung presidente, may bagong presidente na medyo friendly kaalyado, saka sila nag-uwian dito sa Pilipinas at hinarap nila yung kaso. That eventually led them to what? Their acquittal or dismissal of the charges against them. At ngayon, nandiyan pa rin sila namamayagpag sa pwesto. So, walang mangyayari na investigasyon. Kahit na anong committee dyan ng Kongreso or Senado, Blue Ribbon man yan or ISEC, I don't think the lawyer of Saldico will advise him to come home and really issue such a statement under oath. Hindi, wag na po nating hanapin muna ngayon yung under oath statement ni Saldico. Ang ating hanapin ay ano ang mga sasabihin pa niya. Dahil whatever statements he will issue now is not acceptable in court for legal reasons based on the rules of evidence, but it could lead us the way towards the light at the end of the dark tunnel. At makikilala natin doon sa dulo ng kuweba sino-sino itong mga tunay na sangkot sa maanumalyang flood control. Yun po yung aking sagot dyan.
Ayan, before we go to the next question, dagdagan ko lang ng konti, no, kasi sinasabi na hindi under oath yung kanyang testimonya o mga sinabi. Ibalik lang natin yung history ng pag-resign ni Senator Lacson bilang Blue Ribbon Committee. Sinabi ko na to nung nakaraang araw, na all of this is the fault actually of the Blue Ribbon Committee chairperson. Nag-resign siya before pag-break ng session ng Senate, nagkaroon ng lag ng 1 month only to have himself re-elected as the Blue Ribbon chairperson, And then alam natin that Saldico ay sinabi na nila na magiging invited sa Blue Ribbon Committee hearing yesterday. But the day before, hindi itinuloy ni Senator Lacson ang pagpasipot sa kanya sa Blue Ribbon Committee via Zoom. So, si Lacson din ang may kasalanan. Bakit hindi under oath? Dahil kung nakapasok si Zaldico sa Zoom meeting, he could have administered the oath to Zaldico. Hindi niya pinapasok, kaya naipit na si Zaldico to give his statement outside of the Blue Ribbon Committee. Yan ang katotohanan dyan. Kaya nga, sinasabi ko, ang may kasalanan kung bakit hindi ito under oath ang kanyang statement ay walang iba kundi si Senator Lacson. Ayan. So, next question.
Good morning po.
Pakilala.